So I've just returned from a short ride on the new 2018 Africa Twin, and I can tell you that the bike is immediately, visibly an improvement over the old one. Now the old one was already pretty good, but what Honda have done are a couple of very crucial changes. First, they've got ride by wire now, and that allows them to do a lot more things. So first you've got riding modes. You've got Tour, which is your top mode. You've got Urban and Gravel, and you have a custom mode where you can select your own settings and create your own mode. Each mode controls the power, and it controls a couple of other settings, but the idea is I was in touring mode for almost all of it, and it just feels completely natural, and the throttle response changes obviously as you go from Urban to Gravel, etc. You also change the engine brake control, which is how much the bike dips when you get off the throttle. That's also changed. So when you change your settings, the riding mode settings, that also changes. But the thing is, there used to be a small hop on the Africa Twin when you just got on the throttle, because obviously this is the automatic, this is still the DCT. Honda is still not selling the manual in India. That little hop is gone, and that makes the motorcycle so much easier to ride in slow traffic, and that was one of my biggest grouses with the old motorcycle, apart from the fact that we don't get the manual, of course. But it just feels nicer, and what they've done are small changes, like I said. So the balancer shaft is a little bit lighter. There's a completely new set of engine management electronics, which makes it easier to ride. Still makes 89 PS, still got that enormous front fork that has some 230 odd mm of travel, fully adjustable. At the rear you can't adjust compression, you can adjust everything else manually, and of course it's got a remote preload adjuster, so you just scroll a knob when you're carrying a big load. But overall, the character of the Africa Twin always was of the nice guy motorcycle. It's a sweet motorcycle, it goes well, it knows what it's about, and when you go off-road, you don't really miss the clutch a little bit, although it does have transmission modes. You've got drive mode, which is very gentle, sports in 1, 2 and 3. I usually leave it in sports 2, that's what feels most natural to me. Even then, there are times when the transmission shifts at a time when I don't want it to shift. This particular motorcycle, of course, is wearing a whole bunch of accessories. So these are Honda's auxiliary lights. You've got a bigger, taller screen. Somebody stuck a GoPro mount on that. You've got these little deflectors to keep the wind off you. And they've got the top box at the back. They've got the gear shifter on this. So it's like a manual shifter. Instead of using minus and plus buttons, you can use that. So there's a lot of changes on this bike in terms of customization, but effectively what you're looking at is a much nicer Africa Twin than before. Price is about 13.5 lakh rupees ex-showroom. And if you were considering the Africa Twin, now would be a good time to get it, because they've really nailed this one. I really enjoyed riding that. That's the story of the 2018 Africa Twin. Very sweet motorcycle, in showroom now. The only two things I wish Honda had done: one, I wish they'd given us more colors, because they've only changed a little bit. So all the black bits, which used to be black on the earlier, they have this carbon fiber finish now, but you can't really notice it even on the camera right now. And the other thing is that I am a little exhausted seeing this black thread and white pattern. I wish they'd do other colors, and obviously I want the manual to be on sale in India. And we don't get the Adventure Sport model, which is taller than this, has bigger suspension than this, and has more off-road capability than this. That's the story of the Africa Twin. It's in the Honda Wing World showrooms now. You can go and book one and wait on Overdrive. We will have a full road test of this motorcycle out soon, because this is a really promising adventure tourer. This is the most dirt bike oriented adventure tourer you can buy in India, and in that sense a really fantastic motorcycle.